Hey folks, welcome back to TIMBERBORN, and I'm recording this pretty much before most of you will have seen the last video. I think at this point about 40 people have watched it, so I haven't seen your comments, but next week is looking like it's going to be insane, so I am pre-recording what I can, and it'll come out at some point in the week, depending on how busy it is, depends on how many videos there are after what I get done over the weekend. It's Sunday late afternoon at the moment. This might be a shorter video as well because I have a limited amount of time. The plan for today is to just see what we can get done with our new industrial area and the new area over here. So this, just kind of looking, we're currently fairly early in the drought, so the water level typically will sit at around this kind of height. So over here, we are looking at this being kind of, once it's at this height, we want it to be spilling into here. So I think if we put some floodgates here, we can then adjust when this occurs. I want to let it go down a bit more before it does that. But let's preemptively delete these, and someone remind me to come back and know we need to put floodgates here. So that will be our route for getting water in. For getting water back out, what I want to do is just thinking, if we're here, folktails, we can go 5. This is currently at 4, so we're going to need a bit of help getting all the way out of here anyway, so we may as well leave this one and then just stage another one, and hopefully that'll be enough. So we don't need bad water pumps anymore, so they can all go and we can recover all of those resources. I think at this point we straighten this out. Because it will make it easier to mount the mechanical pump, and because we don't need all of its depth, we can raise it up and keep the path. We don't really need the path because we've got the tube ways, but it's useful for construction. So we'll put that there. We'll plan to have a path that goes there, and then we'll get rid of that bit. Yep. We will end up controlling these off of this depth, and probably this depth rather than this depth. Yep. We'll let them work on that. We're going to come back over to our new industrial site, and I haven't really thought too much about over here yet, but we want to put in some storage. Just thinking, so we could do a couple of large storages there, then a tank. Gets us a straight line, and then maybe we do underground storages. Yeah. Obviously we're going to need the path to come out, so maybe we just move those over one. Not sure what they're going to be for yet. We're just putting the storage in for now, and then we could put in another 2x2 there, we could go back to back, couldn't we? So let's do that. And then run a path there. Like that. I'm just thinking there are 6 things that can go in there. So do we actually just make that 6 of those? We then have space. No, let's make it one of those. Because we can then run the path that way. We can get another tank there. I'm just trying to kind of puzzle piece the storage a little bit. We might actually want to delete that so that we can get down there. I'm not sure yet. But that lets us have logs, planks, treated planks, scrap metal, metal, and dirt all stored there. We then won't need that there. And just going to connect it in for now so they can start building that. Predominantly the dirt one, so that we can then empty that guy. The other way we could empty that dirt storage is by starting to expand the area that we've got put down. Another way to use dirt is to move dirt is to use dirt. So, yeah, that'll also empty it out very quickly. Thank you. Because I want to start putting buildings here. So, and we want a lot more plank production still, it would appear. Let's put another plank building there. And then we're going to start putting in treated plank production. I did say we would step that back one, so we had space for some storage, didn't I? So that means we want to move these. Let's put you there. Let's put you there. Put you there. We'll prioritize the building of you. Have got good stocks of those, so that's okay. They can't get to that yet because that ladder's not been built, so we'll just help them out there. Empty those out again preemptively, and we need to move that staircase, or we just kind of jink the path. It being a curved staircase isn't really helping us now. We're getting that built, to be honest. So let's prioritize that, please. And yep, that's a moderate priority, so hopefully they'll get that done. Then we can delete that one. There we go. So let's delete that one because I want to move that path back one. Maybe more actually, but delete that. Thank you. Connect that through there. Sort out all the actual connections properly in a bit. What we might want to do is put that there. So treated plank. Oh, we need to tunneling power shaft, vertical power shaft. We want you there, and actually we want to change you to be a one of them and one of them. Grab another one of you, make you slightly higher priority than your colleagues. There. So we then need to put that there. Pine resin. We have plank storage there, which is probably fine for those guys. So we'll have treated planks as supply. Let's have more log storage on obtain. We're actually almost out of logs, which is kind of weird for the first time in a long time. Right, so we can now delete these. I'm actually going to put in double floodgates. I don't think we need them to be doubles, but you know, let's plan for flexibility. Over here, let's plan for our mechanical pump, just mechanical pump. We need power for it, which is going to have to come from one of these, which is going to be a little bit messy. But it's okay, really. Maybe we bring it from over here. And we won't see it most of the time. Something like that. I guess actually most of these platforms can also go. You should be able to get to those. Means we can recover all of those. We need more lumber, folks. So these are in now. Obviously won't run during a drought or temperate season particularly. So what we want is if season equals temperate, resume, save, duplicate, invert. Yep, that's fine. Save and close. And then copy to there. And that just allows these to recharge. We do have a load of logs here if we can get to them, I guess. So something we need to look at longer term is increasing our log production. Yes, we've been hitting it kind of hard lately with all the building that we've been doing. You are going to be gears. You are going to be pine resin on a... not sure. So that gives us 3 more... these dudes. We are going to edit these rules because I do not like the assign remove. We are going to have that be pause. Resume. So let's just fix that before we copy and paste it. Control C, Control V. So test, save, test, save. So pause if we're out of planks, resume if we have planks. Awesome. So discard, discard, delete, delete, save and close. So we then want to copy you, apply you to there, apply you to there, apply you to there, there, there. And you have a problem because you've not been built anyway. So, yep, that's an issue. These guys have rules that don't account for the fact that they don't have logs, which is frustrating, I guess. But we have enough spare labor at this point that we don't have to completely micromanage it. So, yeah. You, I guess, could be bad water on and obtain, because we'll have explosive production up here eventually, I guess. We probably want to have that put in sooner rather than later. Let's tunnel the power that way, move the path over one, and then we'll put in a block of metalworking, because I think fixed treated plank workshops is enough. We probably want to duplicate what we've got over here. So we are going to need food production as well up here, unless, so down here, the food production we've got going on is the wheat flour and the bakery, which we could move over here because we're growing, or we're growing some of our wheat over here, but we could move all of the wheat production over here and grow another crop here. So we could plant sunflowers and we could make this wheat. That might not be a bad idea. So if we looked at food production, the grist mill only uses 60 horsepower, so we could have some quite significant food production over here. Because the geothermal engine is 400 horsepower. So let's plan for building that. I think we aim to do that because I'd basically like to delete all of this and turn this into a well-being center. And I think maybe we might need over here to plant a big forest. You're going to be extract. I think we keep working on leveling the terrain. I guess I should do it in bigger chunks. Rather than putting down one row at a time, I can put down that, not like that. Nope, not like that, folks. That's what I was saying if you were new to the game, about how you can overhang terrain. We don't want that. We want contiguous terrain. Yeah, if we level all of this off, we can then look at building a forest up here. Then they can have their own local wood supply. We could have put supports in and made this hollow, I know. But dirt is fairly easy to obtain. So we can just let them build that as they can. And actually it's a good job for them to do while we're short of some of the other resources that we need. So you're going to be maple syrup. You might as well be water. How are we off for maple syrup? We might need a bigger maple syrup farm as well. But we're creating a nice big area over here for farming trees. So that is absolutely fine. It's kind of weird being at the point where we're short of logs. That is a different experience on this save. We've not had that yet. And we could throw in some trees over here just to we've got irrigated land that we're not using. I think that makes sense as a stopgap. Going to go for oak. Yes, they take a long time to grow, but they give the best return, and realistically we've got the time to be patient. Probably post a few grow cycles we'll be ripping them out. So yeah. Just grab our rules. But I think that makes sense. Let's prioritize getting those in. Let's put a bot in there so that it happens quicker. Should probably have supplies for bots up here. We prefer having them spread around the colony. So we're out of punch cards, probably because we're out of trees. Which means we'll be out of paper, which means etc, etc, etc. You know. It's kind of how it goes, isn't it? It's kind of how it goes once you run out of trees. Wonder if I put that there, build that, they can. Prioritize building that because I'm sure that was showing that they could plant down there a second ago. Come on, do your stuff. Do your stuff. A whole 11 planks. There we go. And can you cut down there? Some of it. Maybe if put you there, you're good, you're good. All right, no, let's copy the rules so you don't start until we're done, and throw in way more than you can actually reach just to be sure. We'll let you work. Awesome. Right, that's in. Then my thought is probably we bring it up here, the power up here, so it's closer to where, you know, moving power doesn't lose you anything. I could even run it around here and build it here. Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but, you know. Most of the time we're not up here, so it really doesn't matter. Then we can have the beavers working here, which is much closer to where the zipline station is. They're in. 0.9 we'll go with for now. That's starting to go in. They probably can't get to most of that yet, but not super worried because at the moment we're recovering stuff. What we could do is just throw that there. Do that and a little bit of path, and then they can get all of that. Let's do the cheesy thing, because some of you are probably about to type it. Yes, I know, you can move rubble. I'm just not usually a big fan of doing it. It makes life a little bit easier, and that should now all be accessible. And it's quite a lot of planks, so... Right, that's that done. We are not doing very well with our goal of getting the wonder built, are we? No. No, we're not. Well observed, folks. Well observed. Metal. Smelter. 2, 3, 4 smelters? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Storage. Scrap metal obtain. We are very low on scrap metal, probably because the mine hasn't been running very effectively, probably because it's been out of treated planks. Hopefully that will improve. If it doesn't, I intend to open this guy up. But, you know, we'll work our way through things, folks. Our power battery is doing its thing at the moment. So, we could probably do with building a few more windmills. But hey, it's doing its job. It's doing its job. So these guys actually need... I didn't realise we had them there as well. These guys need our new rules as well. These have no rules. They are rebels without a clue, but that's fine for now. But we're likely to get a wave of trees soon. That's cool. This guy is working hard. Ideally, maybe we'd have put a second. Let's just do it. Let's put a second forester there to help this guy out, because the quicker we can get them planted, the quicker they'll be growing. Done, which is awesome. We'll get to see these in action in a moment. Somehow... Oh, I'm a dummy. I'm a big dumb dummy. I built those the wrong way round. If you spotted that in the previous video, well done. Yeah, I'm a big dumb dummy. Oh well. Easily resolved. Season, temperate, resume, save, duplicate, invert. As I say, things have been very busy lately, folks. That means sometimes we make mistakes. Right, let's prioritize getting those done. They were not going to work as intended. Oh well. There is no point that being there, apart from the fact that we maybe need logs to build that. Nope. We need gears, treated planks, and metal blocks. Okay. Which gears, treated planks, metal blocks, so you need to be treated planks. That's the drought over. So this guy is going to do his thing in a moment. Once the seeps. See, so this will pump the water from in here out of here. So this will never get to the point, well, it shouldn't get to the point where it's done. Now, ideally, we'd also have a water dump here so that when it's a bad tide, it dumps water in to stop the bad water coming. It didn't make it quite big enough for that. We might add that as well. But that's like level 2. My brain is currently only operating on level like 0.5. So, yeah. So, yeah, ideally you'd have a water dump here. Then as soon as a bad tide hit, you'd dump water in to get it above that depth so that you couldn't... Right, I'm not sure where I was, but now that we're carrying on, I have noticed that with the drop in water, the pine trees have dried out a little bit. So my plan for improving irrigation is definitely worth doing. And we have this set up now. You can pause it for now, we'll work out all of the logic later. Because there's nothing for it to pump at the moment, but yeah, we'll sort that out. We will need a stream gauge somewhere. I guess. And we could go with somewhere here, to be honest. That should be okay. I kind of want it not right next to where it's pumping water in. So maybe over here. I want to keep an eye on what depth we need for these trees to all be irrigated, because that's kind of critical depth. So let's just keep an eye on that, because we might need to put it lower than I was thinking. So we could build it somewhere over here. Still taking a bit more water. If I put it there. And I guess we could play with it afterwards. But it's looking like it's going to need to lap up over here. Maybe to get close enough to irrigate those trees. Yeah, so I think we're going to need it to be at like just over 2.1 on that. So let's just make a note of if we don't have a signal, we could use that one. 2.15. That one won't ever get to that high, but anyway, it's just a useful reference point. Over here, things are kind of doing their thing. This is going to take a while to fill up, and that's fine. We'll possibly, one way of managing that thing I was talking about before would be to have a stream gauge in each of these and have this not pump out more than 0.8, so to keep these at like 1. That might be a smart way of doing it, actually. That will, a little bit of evaporation will eventually mean bad water gets in, but I kind of like that approach, actually. We'll maybe do that during like the next drought or something. Anyhow, back over here, we have all of the metal production in. We have a decent amount of metal now, which is good. Scrap metal is still an issue. Treated planks are still an issue. Should make sure that that is prioritized. I guess they're just not getting enough of it, and I suppose the problem, yeah, there's the problem. So as soon as they take them, there's none. So they take them all in. They take 30 in, and it then pauses. So we actually need quite a good stock in the district for that to work. Is that an issue? Not really. We probably do want to stockpile more of them. So I think I'm just going to let that build up. How are we looking? So that's still flooding in. These are set to be 0.75. So we probably want this to be set at the same amount. So when water's flooding out of this, it's also filling the other system. Power grid is positive now, but we're going to keep building the windmills, and obviously every time we do that, that cuts off the power supply. But you know, we need to keep growing that network. They've got a lot of dirt placing to do. I think this is going to take ages. These two water seeps are not the quickest in the world, but they're going to do better than they were doing. And these pumps are probably not running at, oh, they are running at maximum, as they just slowly drain the batteries. We could extend the power grids for these as well. This is doing its thing. We have a drought approaching, and this is yet to start filling. But we don't really have a way of getting more water yet. So, you know, this idea has not borne fruit yet. And this is currently draining. So, we're just starting to get water coming through here now. So this should start to do things more rapidly now, hopefully. Let's speed up the clock a bit. So this idea might not work out. Not seen your comments on it yet, obviously. As it starts to fill this, it's also got to fill this. So we're going that way now, and we're not going that way, okay? That's 0.75. There is a 0.75. I guess that's a path of lower resistance. That's 2.81. Okay, it's starting to fill up ever so slowly. But we'll get a little bit of water in here. This may not be a brilliant idea. But I guess we might need some more logic. One, we don't want water going that way. So we want to close below contamination. On all of those. Thank you very much. These are set to be 1. Could raise those up a little bit. There's more to this. There's more to this because we want to minimize the water that's going this way. I mean, maybe that's purely a case of dropping these to like 0.7. Because I think like the natural flow of this will push this water this way. But we can capture some of this water. So what if I go to like 0.65 on these? Because we'll get more of this. But I think this will naturally still go that way. I think. We might need to change the logic a bit more, but this is still very slow and probably will all evaporate. These two seeps are not the most powerful in the world. And these are running very slowly, so we need to up the power generation in here. Okay, that's something we need to look at. Over here, we have an issue with our wood supply still. Yes, I have a wood problem. In time, these will help. We need to sort out this food production area. I'll get to that. I could have made that fuel, couldn't I? Rather than doing that. I mean, that's not a bad idea anyway. We'll have it as a supply. But so these guys are at least now making scrap again, which is good. This is now filling. Has attained equilibrium. That's kind of cool. So what we want to do, I think, is have that snapshot. So I'm just looking at time. So what we're going to do is, if season equals temperate, set floodgate height to 0.6. Duplicate, invert, script, but then we're going to have it close. Did I do that too? You go. So that will trap whatever water we've got, and then later on we'll set the logic for all of this. I'm kind of surprised that, because we've got these, yeah, that's why water's got in there, that's fine. You don't need to have a close above, you can just stay open. Awesome. So that's all worked. That's quite full now. It's all flowing out, which is fine. It's all flowing out of there. Because I guess we don't want this to flood. So we might want to change that to be floodgate and have them set at like 0.9. Or at least an floodgate. Yeah, okay. So we've got lots of dirt placing to do. We've got not much dirt because we're working efficiently. You could all be bots because we've got plenty of bots. You are beavers, which is fine because we're pretty short planks. We've got gears going up. Planks is low because we're short of wood. We've got plenty of pine resin for when we eventually get sorted with wood. Fuel is okay. Biofuel is okay. Food is good. Water is good. So yeah, next time we need to sort out a forest. Put in a little forest here because I don't think this is ever going to overtop this because it's the level that this gets to. could put in a small forest here. We can use small forests because, and here. And we've actually got a spare connection there. Because we're using automation, we can use smaller forests. They don't have to be maximum size. So yeah, I think we put in some small forests around here. That would look quite cool as well. And we can put in a zipline station maybe here to service both of those. We can, yep, like that idea. We've got a drought, so we can sort this out. I'm going to do that next time because I'm running out of time, folks. Yeah. But that's going to be it for today. Slightly short one, I think, maybe. Let me know what you think. Over here, we need to get in some dynamite production, some more food production. We're going to get in wood production. I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to cut this back, but keep the edge so that if we're down here, it's invisible. And we're going to put in another forest to service this. Because we need more wood, we need maple trees as well. I think we're good for pine trees. I think that'll be okay. I'll set up the logic for this probably between videos. I think that'll be easier. I think that's going to be our thumbnail. Because it looks kind of cool. Yeah. So we need to sort out wood. So I think we'll do some forests through here. So we'll replace these so we can get easy access, or we'll make a bridge or something. We could extend the irrigation into here. See if that helps. Yes. Wood. More industry next time. And well-being. We will get these 3 wonders in. But I will see you next time.